Talking with the experts.
In episode 524, Mel Driver shares with us her tips and tricks on how to get through to the other side if you do ever find yourself in burnout.
So for me, most of the times when I've gone through burnout is I feel utterly exhausted by 11 a.m. roughly. I feel like I've run a marathon and I just feel like lying down. And then, as I said, drinking a glass of water feels like an extreme effort. My attention span is, I can't even put it in numbers, but like my attention span is literally zero. Really struggle to have conversations for longer than a few minutes. Like I really need to pause and rest. And the few things that I've found really helpful. And it's funny because I always thought it was such a silly activity, if you don't mind me saying, but I really found coloring in is such a soothing activity. I just sit there, even if you just have like, you can get, coloring in books, or even if you try and find coloring pages on the internet.
Talking with the experts.
Welcome to Talking with the Experts, where we believe that success is a journey, and every journey is easier with help from friends. That's why we bring you top-notch experts and real business heroes eager to share their lessons from the road to success. We delve into new topics each week: effective marketing strategies, innovative problem-solving, financial planning, and team building. We tackle everything you need to know to grow your business and keep it thriving. Whether you dream about launching your first startup or a business veteran looking to shake things up, we've got you covered. With each episode, you'll gain knowledge, boost your confidence, and be inspired to take action. So, grab a coffee, make yourself comfortable, and join our exciting journey. You're not alone in this. We're here, guiding you, cheering for you, and celebrating each milestone. Let's turn your business dreams into reality, starting today. Here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hello, welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is all about business, by business owners, for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And today my guest is Mel Driver, and Mel's going to be discussing with us self-care and burnout for women in business. Now, Mel is the heart and soul behind Merindah Botanicals, and she is the powerhouse and the support at Mel Driver and Co. With a rich tapestry of over 25 years mastering the ins and outs of office management and a vibrant decade crafting award-winning e-commerce ventures, Mel's journey is one of passion, resilience, and a touch of green magic. It all started with a quest for skin-friendly natural care, leading to the birth of Merindah Botanicals, where every product is a love letter to self-care and the planet. And at Mel Driver and Co., she's all about lifting up fellow e-commerce spirits, especially empowering women to shine in their entrepreneurial roles. Mel's all about making connections, nurturing growth, and spreading a little kindness in the business world and beyond. Mel, it's a pleasure to have you. Welcome to Talking with the Experts.
A pleasure is all mine, and thank you for having me.
So you pretty much, in your intro, you've outlined your journey, but, why empowering women and, the self-care and burnout, why are business women in the forefront of your care and nurturing?
So it basically stems from my own personal experience. I have obviously, as you heard in the intro, I'm running two successful businesses, and I'm unfortunately no stranger to burnout and overwhelm. I've gone through it multiple times, and I just want to help women as much as possible try to avoid falling into the trap of burnout, because it's such a deep dark hole, and it's a real struggle to get yourself back out of there. And if I can just help one or two women trying to avoid it, then I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we've been in business for a little while, any of us, male or female, but especially women, I think if you've been in business for a while, burnout is inevitable along the journey, I think, because we obviously trying to do too much. And if, we have other obligations outside of our businesses, trying to juggle all of those things all at once doesn't lend us to looking after ourselves. We're always looking after our business or our outside interests. So, yeah. So tell me, how does Merindah Botanicals, how do they help nurture people?
Yes, so basically my skincare range, which is a 40-time award-winning skincare range by now, and just based on my own formulations. And so all of the products, they have their own unique essential oil blends. So basically all of the products, they have an aromatherapy element. And once you apply my products, you will notice not only that your skin feels fantastic or looks fantastic, it will also make you feel good. Not just the fact that you're putting something healthy and natural on your skin, but also the essential oil blends are meant to uplift, revitalize, invigorate, and basically we're also time poor that we, as women in particular, we put ourselves last because we take care of everyone first before we would even consider taking care of ourselves. And so basically we don't really have much time to self-care. And once you're applying the product, so it's basically self-care in a bottle. And yeah, that's how I hope my products help mainly women to not just look good but also feel good.
Sounds wonderful. It's like magic in a bottle, really, isn't it? Sounds like.
It
so
is.
what's the range? What's included in your range?
Yes, so I've got a face care range and a body care range. Predominantly, so face care, for example, like one of my best-selling and most famous and favorite product is the Go-To Closet, which I like to call 5-minute 4 products, 3 steps, and you're out the door ready for the day. Again, coming back to we're all very busy and we don't have much time, so all you basically need is like 5 minutes and you're ready for the day.
Wow.
And then I've got also then the body care products, and it's basically like bringing the luxury day spa into your home. So basically once you're applying the products like the body lotion or with my personal favorite, which is the invigorating body scrub, it's addictively good. Just a sense alone that just transports you somewhere else. And even if it's just for a couple of minutes while you're applying the products.
Interesting. Well, so what sort of scents, what types of essential oils are you using, Mel?
Yes, so they're all unique. Each product has its own scent combination. So for example, the invigorating body scrub, as the name suggests, it is truly invigorating. So it's a combination of lavender, ylang ylang, ginger and bergamot. So ginger is really good for boosting the blood circulation, and obviously lavender is calming, and then ginger is very spicy in scent, so it's a beautiful combination.
So I guess we all know the importance of self-care, but how does and we're all trying to green the planet, how do your products help to do that?
Yes, so basically you don't really have to take much time out of the day to apply the skincare products. Basically, you just have to be a little bit more mindful, because we all just rush through one task after another, trying to tick just the items off our to-do list. And it's literally when you're applying the products, for example, all you really need to do is you just close your eyes, be mindful, feel how the products feel on your skin, just smell and pay attention to how they smell. And that's basically it.
So what's included in them? I mean, obviously essential oils, but how are the ingredients helping the planet?
So basically all the ingredients, they are selected based on, being sustainably harvested. So I'm very big on sourcing the ingredients ethically. So for example, I don't know if many of you heard about the over harvesting of sandalwood, for example, and palm oil and orangutans. So I make sure that all the ingredients are sustainably farmed and harvested. And I definitely pay close attention to what's going on. So for example, the rosehip oil used to be coming from Chile, but it's been a little bit over harvested. So the main source of rosehip oil has now been transferred over to Denmark. And then we all know that a lot of heavy metals are based in the soil in China. So I'm very mindful of not using any ingredients that have been sourced from China. And then I use a lot of Australian botanical extracts as well, based on the fact that they have grown here in Australia for hundreds and thousands of years, and they withstood the environment. Like, obviously, we all know how dry and hot it gets in the outback. So they basically are already sustainable in itself because, they withstood the test of time over and over again.
Wonderful. So how the products, sound really great. And I guess something that, we all should be looking for doing is, sustainable products, good for the environment, good for your skin, good for your self-care. But why are you targeting women in business specifically?
Basically, just from my own personal experience. I mean, I've been in business for over 11 years now, and I just know how hard it is as a businesswoman. As you mentioned before, we've got multiple roles. Most of us are wives, mothers, sisters, daughters. Some of us are even still working full-time or part-time. So we have multiple roles. And I just know from personal experience, because I've worked full-time for the majority of the time I've been running the business, how easy it is to neglect ourselves. I know that we just keep pushing on. We're trying to push through. And probably the worst thing is that we don't listen to the signs our body is telling us. So as I said before, I'm just literally trying to help women who are in the same situation as me or as I was, trying to help them to avoid burnout. I'm just really passionate about, because I can so strongly relate. I know what anyone as a small business owner goes through.
Yeah, that's something really really noble that you're doing. I think that's a great way, because if you've have lived experience of burnout, then you can help others to overcome it or to avoid it. So, well done to you. Mel, where can people find your products?
Yes, so they're available mostly on my website, which is merindabotanicals.com.au.
Right. You can also find Mel on Instagram as well at Merindah Botanicals. And do you have something that you'd like to share, like to promote with us, or?
No, I just wanted to share that, just coming back to burnout, I just wanted to say how really important it is to listen to the signs your body is telling you and try not to push through. Sometimes if you just have to take a step back for a day or two, try not to force yourself. Don't overthink it. Like I've been there before. It was one thing I was trying to overthink for 6 months. Sorry, not 6 months, goodness, 6 weeks. And I ended up in a burnout. And I imagine that everyone's signs, the body's showing everyone different signs in the lead up to overwhelm or burnout. And I just cannot stress how important it is to listen to the signs when their body is telling you to slow down, because burnout is definitely not pretty, and it's a real struggle to get yourself back out of it. So just take it very easy. For example, when I go through burnout, or quite one of the couple of times or few times I've been through burnout, like I literally struggle to brush my teeth or drink a glass of water. It was such a huge effort. Everything feels like a huge effort, and I just do not want anyone to go through that. So if I'm helping a few women here to really pay attention to when the body is telling you something, it's important to listen.
Yeah, I guess some of the signs of burnout, as you said earlier, can be different for everybody. But what were the signs that you noticed in your lead up to burnout?
So for me, most of the times when I've gone through burnout is I feel utterly exhausted by 11 a.m. roughly. I feel like I've run a marathon and I just feel like lying down. And then, as I said, drinking a glass of water feels like an extreme effort. My attention span is, I can't even put it in numbers, but like my attention span is literally zero. Really struggle to have conversations for longer than a few minutes. Like I really need to pause and rest. And the few things that I've found really helpful, and it's funny because I always thought it was such a silly activity, if you don't mind me saying, but I really found coloring in is such a soothing activity. I just sit there, even if you just have like, you can get, coloring in books, or even if you find coloring pages on the internet and just print out a page. That is something that's really, really helped me. You don't have to think, it's just an activity. It's so soothing. I never thought it possible, but that's my number one tip. If you find yourself in overwhelm or burnout, just find something that's really soothing, doesn't take much. You don't need, like, the thinking part is probably super important to try and dial that down.
Yeah, I've often found myself doing colouring in just because you're creating something. You're not having to use your brain too much, other than choosing what colours to put where, and just the motion of just gliding your pencil across the page. It is quite soothing. It's and it's so effortless. You don't have to put a lot of effort into it, and it is quite good. I found in my burnout too was doing stuff that just relaxing and reading a book. And I know that takes brain power, but if you enjoy reading's another good a good way to do things. And I also found that just sitting outside in your garden, if you have a garden, or if you don't, just go to a park or a beach or something and just sit and just take in the atmosphere and the scene. And I find sitting at the beach or in nature is so good for me. It feels so good, and I can breathe in all the smells.
Yeah, or even pottering in the garden. If you have a garden, that's also quite helpful. It's just, I think, as long as the activity doesn't include thinking too much, I suppose anything that makes you feel good and can help. Or kiss a dog, kiss a cat, kiss a sheep. We've got a couple of sheep, so I do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, try not to think anything that makes you think. It just adds to the overwhelm, because it's just something that you're adding more to your stress levels and your thought patterns and all of those things that aren't good for you when you're in overwhelm or in burnout. So yeah, and I think most of us have been there at some point or other whilst we've been in business. So if you haven't, you're very, very lucky, I reckon.
Yes, that's so true.
Mel, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Your products, for a start, they sound absolutely. I could actually smell them when you were describing them. So that was really great. And so people go and check out Mel's things at Merindah Botanicals on her website, and have a look at the range of products that she has, and check her out on Instagram as well. Thanks so much, Mel.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.